Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back, and yeah, welcome to what's new and coming up with lipedema. I had to think for a second about what I was doing. So this is where we talk about all the things that are coming up and new about lipedema, obviously. But I am Siobhan. I'm the research specialist. It's been a long week. I'm so glad for the long weekend coming up. But I'm here with Catherine. Catherine, please say hello and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine, and I'm the founder and CEO of Lipedema Simplified and Lipedema Project. And mostly, I'm a lipedema patient. That's what it always comes down to, lipedema and lymphedema. And I want to say hi, Marilee. It's so great that you're here from the Pacific Northwest. There are others here too. So put your name in the chat and let us know who's here. And as Siobhan said, we're here to talk about what's coming up and what you might want to put in your calendar. So, Siobhan, why don't you talk about the webinar we're doing a week from Sunday?
A week from Sunday, yeah. So our next webinar, it is a free webinar, and again, just like the other ones that we do, if you can't attend in person, just make sure to register anyway, because then you'll get the recording for it. But the next one coming up is Your Body is Talking to You, Discover Ways to Listen and Heal. That's going to be with Catherine, me, and then also Dr. Matthew Carmody. And we're all going to be having a really great discussion. It's going to be Sunday, September 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to put that in your calendar, make sure to register. But we're going to be bringing forth a really foundational concept to pretty much everything that we do, I think.
I can't get my phone to turn off. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, so during this webinar, we're going to be talking about a really foundational concept, which is basically about how to listen to your body, where the benefit from that comes in, and the why it's important, basically, and how to do it. We were just talking about this in the background, and it's a type of communication, I think, that is not always developed very early in, especially I think nowadays. And so it is a skill that you have to develop, and it can be really difficult if you're not sure how to do it and if you don't have the confidence for how to start. So we're going to be talking about that during the webinar, laying out the foundational concepts, and then something I'm really excited about is we're going to go through some practice of that so that you can do it in a group, and it is a private thing. It's not like you'll be up on camera and doing it in front of everybody. It'll be in the safety of your own room, but just leading through some almost like a guided meditation of sorts. But it's a practical meditation, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I want to add to that. As I've said, if you've ever heard us before, I always talk about how our bodies become a war zone, at least
Mm-hmm.
mine was, and and it's a slow healing process. Hi, Sandra. Um, Hearts to you. Um, it. I always sort of get to this place and I say, how do I love something that doesn't listen to me? How do I love something, meaning my body,
Mm-hmm.
that seems so totally out of control? Um, so, and it's been a long process, but one that I'm very, very grateful for because I now feel, I don't know, I feel love
Mm-hmm.
in my body. I mean, that I've been able to make it this far and that I've been, most of you know, because I tell everybody that I've been very, very sick, but I'm better. And I didn't think I would get better, but I am much, much better. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad. And yeah. So this relationship with our body is one that's so complex. So
Hmm.
I hope you'll come and join us.
Yeah, and I like the point that you bring up in terms of like how do you love something that doesn't listen? I think one thing that's interesting to think about is like asking a parent, how do you love your child when they're a toddler? When they don't listen and they throw tantrums, and I think the response you'd probably get is that a lot of parents would just say, well, they're still learning. Like they don't know how to be calm. They don't know how to calm themselves down. They don't know what's going on. And I think the same is true of our body. It throws tantrums and it doesn't listen and it does whatever it wants to do and it but there's a level of learning there, and especially for first time parents, but I also think multiple parents because you have to learn each kid individually. It's a mutual learning, and that's kind of what we want to encourage through this webinar is a mutual learning. So your body learns what feels good, what helps it when it's struggling, and then you also learn and you develop this relationship that's already there, but maybe not as developed as you may want it to be, or as much as may be beneficial for you to have. So just starting that process, or if you've already started the process, like a lot of what we do also is we talk about things and we dive deep, but then we pull back out and we go back to the foundational concepts because even if you've heard it once or maybe you've started to build this relationship, it can be really helpful to just go back to the basics and revisit it and be like, okay, is there any part of these basics that I haven't sat with for a little while or that maybe I thought about when I first heard it, but I haven't really implemented? Let's just revisit it. Or you may have started working on it, but then life happens and things fall off and you fall out of the habit. And so you can return to those basics again and re-pick them up or find something else to focus on that you didn't the first time around. So I think that's really helpful. And we found that people really respond to that. They like just returning to the very simple concepts and sitting with them for a little while and thinking about them again with a fresh perspective of everything that they've learned.
Let me welcome Dr. Nelson. Lovely to have you here. And hi, Tawana. She says my body is having a lot of tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Uh-huh. I know I can remember feeling, oh my God, my body is just in a rage and like a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, truly, truly. Just absolutely tantruming out.
Yeah, like just yesterday, like right after work, I felt so exhausted and I just went right to sleep, didn't even do anything else. And I slept for 12 hours and I never sleep that long. And even after I woke up, I felt groggy and I felt slow and I wasn't really productive. And I was just thinking, like, what? First of all, what, like, did I do something? Did I do anything different? Like, okay, I tried out some flaxseed crackers. Maybe that was a bad response to it. But also, there's like storms going through, and maybe it's just that. I was just thinking about it for a while, and I went on my walk in the morning, and that helped a little bit. I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'll put on my compression because I haven't been wearing it recently, and usually at this point, I'll wear compression on an as needed basis. But sometimes the swelling isn't, it doesn't always present the same way, it doesn't always feel the same way. So I'll just throw it on and see what happens. And I just put on um, my leg compression about an hour ago, and I feel better. I feel clear headed, able to focus, not groggy at all, not sleepy. It's like, okay, I get it. And that's just, but that's the process we're talking about, right? Like we experience something, it's like, okay, what was that? Like, was it this? Was it that? Just cycling through, do I need a walk? Do I need to just take some time? Did I just need the extra sleep? Okay, maybe I'll try some compression. Oh, well, okay, there we go. That's what it was. But at no point in that process did I feel angry. A little bit annoyed, probably, but not angry, just kind of curious and
Mm.
okay, well, clearly something's going on. I don't necessarily know what it is, but I'll figure it out. We'll play around a little bit and just experiment and see what happens. And apparently, it was just some swelling, probably from the storms we've had. Like this whole summer has just been storm after storm after storm, and I know it'll cause swelling, and I could even feel it up here. And I was trying like all press to get some pumping at that central point, but that hasn't really been helping. And for some reason, the leg compression helped. I don't know why. Maybe it just added some additional
Mm.
pressure to get everything moving again. Um, but yeah, so live and learn.
Um, okay, so Tawana says that she's doing the best she can, but she's alone with it because there are no doctors where she is in Rochester, New York. So she's really appreciating all of the resources.
Mm-hmm.
We want to give you another resource today, which is our upcoming Congress. I put I put the link in the private chat, Siobhan. If you can, while I
Mm-hmm.
share my screen. Also, Dr. Nelson wants to know if our workshop is a week from this Sunday. Yes, it's on the 7th, and it's at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And while Siobhan is, oh, wait, let me share the link. Here's the link. This is where I'm about to go because I want to show you. We have a Congress coming up. We have Congresses or symposiums, events, whatever you want to call it. There's a 3-day conference, basically.
And
And,
it's a virtual conference, so that's worth noting. It's all online, so it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can attend.
and until well, I think the marketing director is running it at least through the weekend. There's a special price of 147. I'll show you what it is before we talk about price. But it's the title of it is Principles and Practice of Diagnosis and Treatment because we're coming up. We wrote a book. Um, us and 30 other experts worldwide. Here's the book, Lipedema: Principles and Practice of Diagnosis and Treatment. And the 3-day conference, September 26, 27, 28, will be featuring authors from the book, which is remarkable that we were able to do that. The table of contents is here. As I said, the top people around the planet wrote chapters for this. And rather than read it to you, I'm going to let you go through it yourself and just say that what makes this book so special and this Congress so special is it's the first medical textbook about lipedema. Um, and our speakers, Siobhan and I, with our colleagues, Leslie Keith and Dr. Stanley Roxon, will be our keynote speaker. And um, we have 9 authors from the book. Dr. Faber from Germany, Dr. Carmody from here in the US, Dr. Shingali from Germany, Dr. Dudek from Poland, Dr. Cheyenne from Australia, Dr. Dobbins from the UK, Rachel Huyun, and she's from in Dr. Tracy McLaughlin's lab, and she's from the University of California, San Francisco School of Medicine, and Bill Rapisi, who is the president and CEO of the Lymphatic Education and Research Network, and some other surprises. We have a few patients who will be coming and sharing, and also a lot of interaction. We have a lot of interaction in our conferences. You can read all that. Uh, and I think here. So general access is on the early special. So you don't, it's not 597, it's 147, and that gives you general access, which is live access. People ask us for replays. You can purchase a premium access, which gives you all the replays plus special Q&A sessions and a few other perks. So be sure to do it because the price goes up after the weekend. And anything else you want to add, Siobhan? Siobhan is one of the authors.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the main sentiment I've seen, even beyond patients, like I was just at Low Carb San Diego, which is a conference in California, and I was talking to people there about how the book is going to be coming out and this congress is coming up, and everybody is just excited. I think that's the general sentiment I've seen. They're like, yes, finally, this is going to be awesome. And they're just excited to have it. So, like, along with that, like, this is a book, and this congress can really help you understand what's in the book, but then also the concepts beyond that. There's going to be a lot of discussion that's taking place about just the topics that we cover in it. And like, the book itself, I think, will be helpful for anybody who wants to learn more about lipedema. So that could be, I've seen several people talk about how they're going to purchase a copy for their doctor so that they can go through it together, especially if their doctor's expressed any interest, or lymphatic therapists, even family and friends, to just understand everything that goes into this in one place. So you don't have to collect up 20 different resources to get it. You can just get the one book, and granted, we will be having other books coming out too. But I think this is going to be, again, a really good foundation to build off of.
Yeah, really. And yeah. I always go, really? Did we really do this? It's been a 3-year process of working
Hmm.
on the book. And the book is, we're hoping to have a chapter of it as a sample for everybody. We're working on it now, but the whole book will be released in February of 2026. And the other thing, Siobhan, will you let people know this wonderful news about um, your partnership with Nutrition Network and what it's led to?
Yes. So over really this year, I've done several lectures for Nutrition Network, which is an education resource for people interested in therapeutic carbohydrate restriction, low carb, ketogenic diets, and getting professional level education on that. And we've just recently connected with them because one thing they're interested in doing is doing a lecture series on lipedema. So, talking about nutrition, but then also the other supporting factors that go into that. So, again, any doctors, any practitioners, patients, therapists, all of that who want to learn about the foundations of lipedema, they'll be able to go through this lecture series. It'll be the experts on the topic talking about it. So, Catherine and I will be involved. Leslie and Keith will be involved.
Dr.
Likely,
Carmody?
yeah, Dr. Carmody, likely some of the authors from the book as well. And it'll just be another resource point for people who are interested in learning about this topic. So they're super excited, and it's in the beginning formulation stages, but we're going to be working as quickly as possible to put it together so that it can be available to everybody who's interested in it. I'm super excited. Whenever anybody from Nutrition Network reaches out to me and says, hey, do you want to contribute to this course? I'm always super honored to be able to contribute to it, because it's just a place where doctors and other practitioners, and again, a lot of patients take their courses as well, can get some really good quality information on the topics that they cover. And having one on lipedema is going to be just so awesome.
Wonderful. Dr. Nelson says he's signing up for the Congress. Welcome. We'd love to have you. And also, is the book going to be available in a digital form? Yes.
Yes.
And we're hoping that the digital form will be ready before the printed form, since the printed form won't be ready until February of 2026. But you can pre-order on Amazon, and the digital copy, we'll see, with some luck. We tried to get it released in September. Since September is in 2 days, and we're still in the editing process. And so, the thing is, I love, love, love our publisher. We're publishing with Hammersmith Medical Books out of London, and they're wonderful, wonderful. But publishing is a slow process. It
Hmm.
just isn't quick because we've literally been working with them. It'll be 3 years in November, and but it's been worth every single second, every single moment, because the issue with lipedema is that there isn't enough awareness
Hmm.
in the medical community, and that's why we exist and we help. Um, and I want to say, Tawana is healing the fibrosis around her knees herself. She's using N=1. She doesn't say that, but that's what she's doing. Is there anyone she can connect with? Yes, send me an email.
Hmm.
I'm happy to jump on Zoom with you and hear, and I want to know more about your story. So I'm putting uh, my email, which is Catherine at lipedema-simplified.org. Feel free to send me an email. I think it's in the chat. Yep, it went in the chat, and we'll find a time to chat. Okay. Well, I think that's all the news that's fit to speak about
Yeah, this week.
for
But
this week.
yeah, we will have more next week, and we meet up pretty much every Friday, unless there's a holiday that falls on the Friday, or if it's in the middle of an event that we're hosting. But pretty much every other week, we're here to give you updates and just to chit chat about what's going on. And yeah, so thanks for coming around this week, and be sure to come back next week, and we'll have more updates, more exciting news. There's lots going on.
Well, yeah, next week we're going to be 2 days from our webinar, and I'm really looking forward to it. So be sure to come and join us. And